Hello, all, and welcome. We are back for some more of the 12-16 podcast manga section. Woo! I am happy about this, but I'm also sad because we go on break again next week, so it's all right. But we do finally get a little sprinkle of the background story for Sentomaru, Kizaru, and Dr. Vegapunk. This chapter was actually a lot of good information, and I hope you're ready for the breakdown. All right, so we start off, of course, like we always start off, and it is with the cover art. I love how the cover art was in color. We get to see Luffy, Nami, Usopp, Jinbei, Sanji, and Brook and Chopper all eating down with some pink flamingos flying around, or some pink, yeah, look like flamingos. The pink flamingos flying around. We got top hats on. The only thing about this is that we are missing Frankie and we are missing Robin from the cover art. But other than that, the cover art was beautifully drawn as it always is, and you can even see pizza just everywhere in the background. They're tearing down. It's a little mouse that's running across the pizza, probably Sanji's mouse that he used to carry around in his pocket. But it's a lot of them everywhere. The cover art starting off back was really worth it, and you get to see Brook with a pink top hat as he has written upon him chili jalapeno on his arm. Pretty cool to see. But then we get into it, and we start off with, of course, the chapter itself with just a lot of chaos. Chaos is everywhere. We see that the Navy is finally making its move. And then, of course, we see that Sentomaru is holding his ground with the mechas of the Pacifista and the weaponized sea beast. The weaponized sea beast and the the Pacifistas again are controlled by Sentomaru because it is a ring structure, which will come into play later on. But they are controlled by Sentomaru, and the weaponized sea beasts are there to try to hold out. But it's crazy because we also see that the vice admirals are fighting back. We get to see some of the vice admirals actually, telling the sea beast, "Hey, get away from us. Shouldn't be here. Not this ship." And it's actually really good. We see a few moves from about two of them, and then we get right into it because we see that Vegapunk is watching on with Nami and Usopp. They're in the lab right now, still at the top. And they notice that Kizaru and Sentomaru are facing off on a screen that they've been watching everything going. And during the face off, it's going down. We get to see the tank Sentomaru hold off the all around Kizaru as well as he possibly can until he gets kicked while blocking by a light speed kick. And this light speed kick sends Sentomaru flying back. Sentomaru is then hurled into a wall, and we see Kizaru gear up for his light beam attack. Sentomaru is running away, and they're talking a little bit as the fight's going on. And Sentomaru says, "I'm sorry, Uncle. I gave my word to Straw Hat Luffy. I can't go back up on it. And it's going to be one of those." Sentomaru grabs the axe that Sentomaru is famous for, goes in for it, and tries to cut Kizaru. But as it's all going on, remember, Vegapunk is still watching on, and Vegapunk is really hurt. He really doesn't want them to fight in the first place. And as soon as Sentomaru goes for the slash, I don't know why, Sentomaru doesn't know how to use hockey and whatnot. It seems like armor hockey is not a thing. Sentomaru is just brute strength and defense. But of course, it's an easy dodge for Kizaru. And then we get a nice little lovely flashback that takes us to when Sentomaru was a kid beating up bears. The flashback is so touching because you see a young Kizaru and Vegapunk walk up to Sentomaru and they're all like, "Oh, what's going on? Why are you out here beating up these bears? Go back to the village." And Sentomaru is strong upon his determination and says, "I'm not going back to those bunches of wimps, and the villagers just don't understand me." Now, this is pretty dope to see because we do see a young the sentimental side of Kizaru when it comes to the relationship that they have, that those three have. Remember, a few chapters back, we realized that the pacifistas, they like, well, we knew already a long time ago, but we seen a few chapters back, just a flashback of Kizaru practicing, his light beam tricks and just showing off as Vegapunk analyzes it and puts that technology into the pacifista. That's something that is pretty cool to see. But now we see even more of it come into play because of the backstory with a younger version of Sentomaru, and they're all just talking, chatting it up. Sentomaru goes, I don't want to go back to those weak links, and that he just needs a job so he can just work, save up money so he can get onigiri. Again, onigiri is like rice ball, rice balls, right? Rice cakes inside of a way. But that's what Sentomaru wants. And when Sentomaru says that, of course, we see the ooh by Kizaru, knowing that that's one of his favorites, of course. But then, Vegapunk says to Sentomaru, well, if that's what you really want and you don't want to go back to the village, why don't you be my bodyguard? Sentomaru gets super excited and says, I'll do that. And walks over and says, hey, Unc, I want to protect Grandpa Vegapunk. Can you please teach me? And he was talking to Kizaru at the time. Of course, we all know Kizaru was a younger version, so he goes, don't call me Unc. I'm far too young for that. But man, it was a really good few panels that we got from that. We got to see like the little touching side, but then we get right back into the action. And as we come back, we see that back to the present, Kizaru is just eating Sentomaru down, and he beats Sentomaru so bad that Sentomaru goes unconscious. Once Sentomaru goes unconscious, that's pretty much it for his control over the pacifista, which means now the command chip comes to play. We see Kizaru pick up the command ship and give the pacifistas the command to go ahead and protect the naval ships from the sea beast and to sink them into the bottom of the ocean, which then turns the tide yet again for the Straw Hats, because things just look bad. You have that entire fleet closing in as fast as it possibly can with an unconscious Sentomaru now, and the pacifistas, is about 50 of them out of command. They're all attacking the sea beasts, and once the sea beasts all get that command, they go ahead and start destroying things, and we flash over to the Straw Hats and Vegapunk, of course, meaning like, Nami and Usopp is there with them, the ones that are inside the labo room with Dr. Vegapunk at the time. As we get back, Vegapunk is still trying to crack the code. He says, I have to hurry and get this done with to get the defense systems down. And then we see, of course, Luffy and his crew, the Luffy party that went to go get the Sunny to bring it back. They're running with the Vega Force and it's been carried an alarm, and they hear a sound going off. So Lilith reaches back in and is like, hey, what's going on over there? Come in, Stutzy. What's going on with everything? We need answers. Why is the alarm sounding off? Nobody should be able to go through the alarm. As he said that, remember, Kizaru being made of light, he can pass through the laser system and get inside fairly easy. So because he is able to do that, that's the whole reason why the alarms are sirening off. Are you hear ring ding ding, ring ding 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 ding, and it's going crazy because somebody has broken into the laboratory, and that is, of course, Kizaru, because he's able to pass through light particles with his Devil Fruit ability. Kizaru then flies into the air, and as he looks up there, he remembers the things that must be protected, the things that the girls say agreed on, such as the power station, Punk Records, and of course York, because York is able to recreate the Mother Flame. These are some things that must be protected, that the world government wants to protect. Even though Kizaru wishes that he can protect the things that he wants to protect, such as Dr. Vegapunk, but orders are orders, and Vegapunk's elimination is the top priority that must happen. So as we see Vegapunk still working hard to crack the code, we shift gears again, and we kind of remember we kind of have to get the feeling of who's inside the room still. So of course we still see Kaku laid out on the ground, and then out of nowhere, boom, you see Lucci spring into action with a finger pistol charged up, charging after Dr. Vegapunk to make sure that he is eliminated. And as he charges towards Vegapunk, good thing Stutzy was there. Stutzy stepped in and took the finger pistol right to the stomach and got knocked out. So once the finger pistol goes through, we see Sanji spur up fast as ever. Everybody's in shock, and he grabs the bubble gun from Nami, and he shoots Kaku and puts Kaku inside of a bubble because Kaku's on the ground, still injured, of course. So now Kaku is trapped inside the bubble and can't help, leaving Lucci at a disadvantage. Lucci, being as cocky as he is, tries to collide with the Straw Hat Pirates, and on comes Roronoa Zoro with his two swords to block off Lucci's full armament kick, and it's now a showdown. Whew, man. Lucci finally steps up, and next thing you know, Zoro's telling him, you waited all this time to grow a backbone? Ooh, that hurt that man. So I felt that one right there. You waited all this time to grow a backbone, and you think that you're finna really get out of this alive, huh? So Zoro and Lucci go through the wall and begin their fight. I'm sure they're going to end up going all out. But again, Zoro states to never underestimate the Straw Hat crew. Now, as it's coming down to it, we see the fight. We go back and we see the Vega Force still running full speed ahead with the Thousand Sunny inside of its hand. And as the Vega Force is trying to get away, we see in the distance Kizaru looking on. And as Kizaru's looking on, he's, oh, I was wondering where the ship went since it wasn't up on the shore. Where could it have gone? And it has to be there. So as Kizaru's looking on, of course, we see somebody's feet standing right in front of him as he charges in with a full-blown kick, leaving Kizaru to have to block. And it's none other than Monkey D. Luffy. Luffy pops up at the end. Kizaru says, I see that you're still as cheeky as ever. And the only thing that Luffy can say with a smile on his face is that we're 100 times stronger than we were 2 years ago, Kizaru. As he engages the Admiral, the chapter comes to an end. I am excited about the next chapter because, man, we get to see a face-off. We've seen Rayleigh face off against Kizaru before. Rayleigh is, that was an old Rayleigh. We didn't see him 100% face off, but we did see him hold off Kizaru at Saba Odi to let the Straw Hats escape after the 2-year time skip. Well, remember before then, they were getting destroyed. But this time, Rayleigh wasn't going, and we come in and we see the kick landing, forcing Kizaru to block. He couldn't use his light abilities because it caught him off guard a little bit, but we get to see the showdown. I hope next chapter, so in 2 weeks, the next chapter will be out in 2 weeks, between Luffy and Kizaru, and of course, Lucci and Zoro. Remember, when Zoro got back and they had the whole face-off with Luffy and Lucci, they had that face-off. At the same time, Zoro and Kaku was facing off, and Kaku was low diff. Like, Zoro was having zero difficulties with this man. The only thing that came with difficulty was because we got to see S-Hulk that popped up, which of course embodies the warlord himself, Hawkeye Mihawk, and that's the only reason why that battle didn't go through and Kaku didn't lose his life. But he is injured still from both the Zoro fight and battling off against S-Hulk. But I am excited as ever to see this fight go down. The panel was written so perfect. It had to bring onto it. Just seeing Luffy's feet standing on the ground, looking at Kizaru in the distance. He felt his presence last chapter. I think it was last chapter. He felt it at the very end and said, somebody strong is here. And we know it's go time now. Oh, it's go time. Monkey D. Luffy is ready as ever for this matchup. I'm ready for it, of course. I'm super hyped. I'm psyched about this. It's gonna go down. Leave your comments below, of course. As always, this is 12. I love bringing to you these reactions from the manga because they mean a lot. They go through so much information and they give you so much to read about. This has obviously been one of the best I'm glad that we're back with the Straw Hat Pirates, because now we have to get the Vega Force to get up top, to get in position, to get the system down first, because the system has to go down first, just so it's ready to take off once it goes down, so they don't get the buster call or anything like that happen to them that could possibly hinder them escape. Even though the buster call won't happen because they want to protect York, the records of Punk Records, and they also wanted to protect what was it? It was protecting the power station. That's right. So they want to protect the power station, York Records, York, and the Vegapunk Records. So we know they won't do a buster call just yet, but if Kizaru's inside there and he can get some of that stuff out, he could do serious damage. Man, this is interesting. I'm excited right now, and I know for a fact that this man Lucci did not sit here and think that he wanted to wait till backup came to make his move when you still had Zoro inside there. And you have Sanji in there. Mind you, Sanji didn't do anything too much other than put Kaku inside of a bubble. But that takes Kaku out of commission now. Kaku can't do anything. Yeah, it's up now. It's up. It's up. I cannot wait for the next chapter. We're almost at 1,100 chapters. This has been going on so strong, so fucking lovely. So you can't see it too much, but of course, you know how it is. Us at the 1260 podcast, we love our One Piece content, whether that is manga only, anime only, figure, whatever it is. We love our One Piece content, and I hope you love it as well, and you love us presenting it to you. Again, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button, that subscribe button. Of course, tell your friends about us. Put a comment down below if you want to, and of course, share on all social medias. Again, 12 is here, signing off.